God loves every child in the world as much as he loves mine. Right? Yeah. So I started praying, God, help me, help me to go ahead and love all children as if they were mine. And I prayed 3 years for that. What happened? And then he answered it. Just like one day, boom, it was there. And then I'm like, what are you thinking? That's stupid. I mean, 7's not enough. Do you know how painful 7 kids, 4 girls is? I mean, what in the world? Why do you want more of that? What was it? But it hasn't been taken from me. And so I don't know how. I don't know. It's a spiritual thing. It's a gift. It's whatever. But I will connect with you just like I would one of my daughters. And I will honor you, and I will tell you the truth, and I will go ahead and help you out, and I will sacrifice. I will do all of those things. And there will be times that you will absolutely hate me totally, just like my daughters do. And I'm okay with that.
I don't think I'm going to hit you, being honest.
You might want to talk to my 4 daughters.
I know they're different.
You might want to. Right, none of them are built with your personality. Granted, that is true. That is true. So, you got to step up your game, and you've got to be willing. See, most people, they're blown away by how quickly I and how deeply I connect so fast with people, and so they think that's vulnerability. Actually, the truth is, it's not that vulnerable, because you have lots of people. I mean, so if you're not a good steward of my time, talents, treasure, trust, and truth, God will bring some other young lady who's 27 years old into my life, and I'll be a great steward of her life. And so it's natural laws in being able to do that. And so most of the time we don't recognize what other people give to us, and we don't commit to them, and we're not consistent with them, and so they're not consistent, and they don't commit to us. And so the more you commit, the more consistent you are, the more you're going to attract that. There was a woman that was just had turned 40, never had been married, executive in a company, and we were doing coaching with her, and she went ahead and said, when we were developing her plan, she said, hey Mark, can you go ahead and help me, find a guy, a husband?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, really? I'm like, well, yeah, sure.
She said that.
Yeah, she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, no problem.
No, I mean, she said, can you help me find a
Right, find a husband.
Business coaching.
Right. She says, can you help me find a husband? I'm like, yeah, sure, not a problem. We'll build it right into your plan. She's like,
what did she expect you to say at that point? She asked the question.
Yeah, but I said, sure. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. She's like, I was just joking. I'm like, I'm not. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, you don't know me. I have not attracted very good guys. I said, it's not a problem. She says, I have really poor taste, made poor choices. Like, it's not a problem. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I said, okay, she said, what do I do? I said, okay, get a mental visual of the ideal dream guy that you're looking for, and then write down everything about him. I mean, his color of his eyes, everything, his hair, everything. It doesn't matter if it's superficial or not. Write down everything that is in your dream guy, and write it all down.
And she did that?
And she did that, and she came back the next week, and she said, okay, I got it all down. I said, okay, now, get inside that guy's head and figure out what he's thinking and what he's looking for in a woman. And then focus on not finding the guy, focus on being the woman, and the guy will find you. 6 months later, she was dating a guy. A year later, they got married, they had a little baby. It was unbelievable. See, there's something that we do not understand about energy and how this stuff works. And so guys are just messed up if they're trying to, go after a specific woman. Be the man, and the woman will be attracted to you. Women, don't try to get the guy, be the woman. And when you're the woman that you should be, you're going to attract the kind of guy. And when you do that, it's magical. It's absolutely magical. Wow. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Their reaction was priceless.
No, I mean, where have you ever heard? I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
But seriously, right? I mean.
No, that's right, yeah.
Okay, so did that help?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like us to do?
What are we looking at a time?
I'm sorry?
What are we looking at a time?
You mean, you want to know if we have time?
Yeah.
We have some time.
Okay, motivation.
Okay, so Peter Schmidt, who's with Herbalife, part of this group, he and I were talking probably about 7 years ago. And he said, what's the secret to motivating my employees? And I'm like, wow, that's a good question. He said, Jim Rohn, who trained Zig Ziglar and Tony Robbins and all of that, like he's the master all
He's
over
like
the
the
world.
grandfather of
Right.
motivational speaking.
So he's like amazing. And he said, Peter said to me, he's like, yeah, Jim Rohn says that, and what he said is he didn't know how to motivate people, so he found motivated people. Immediately my brain's like, oh, I wish she was alive. It was right after he passed away. I said, I wish he was alive, because I'd have a few questions for him. Like one of them, like, what if one of those unmotivated people is one of your own children? Then you got an issue.
Right.
So his model is
Right.
flawed in my world. I
Right.
cannot go ahead and accept that you have to find motivated people. So I went on a journey, you know, what was it, 5-6 years ago, I was invited to the White House. I know the president of the largest real estate franchise in the world. I know a lot of really smart people. I've been blessed to have a lot of smart people in my life, so I started to pursue the secret of motivation.
Which is?
And we knew it.
What do you mean? People are at the White House, people are making gajillions of dollars.
Nobody knows.
Wait a sec. Oh.
So that's the answer?
What's that?
That's the answer?
Well, that's the answer, yeah, nobody knows it. So I'm talking with my two nieces, who are 5 and 7 at the time, and I'm co-authoring a book with them on building relationships for a lifetime. So every Saturday, the three of us talk, and so I'm talking to 5 and 7-year-old Brianna and Olivia, and I say, hey girls, Uncle Mark's got kind of run into a little bit of a jam here, and so I was wondering, you probably don't know Jim Rohn, but he's a pretty smart guy. And yeah, no, we have no idea. I said, well, I'm trying to figure out the secret to motivation, and he didn't know it. So I was just wondering, could you girls go ahead? Do you have any ideas? And Brianna, bless her, a 7-year-old, she goes, sure, Uncle Mark. She's like, you know, in Girl Scouts, what they do to motivate us is they share stories, success stories of other Girl Scouts.
She was how old?
7. So the best salespeople on the planet are storytellers. The whole Jewish and Middle Eastern, all of that are storytellers. That's their gifts.
Huge.
I mean, movie industry, storytellers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is. They're gifts, and so they're storytellers, and so storytellers are very powerful. Jesus, I mean, he told parables, and I'm like, is sitting right now. Actually, Jim Rohn did know the secret. He just didn't know he knew the secret, so he couldn't tell anybody. He couldn't teach anybody. So a 7-year-old took me to school and changed my whole life. I mean, so from that point on, I've become a storyteller. Not because I'm a natural storyteller. I'm thinking, why would anybody want to hear my stories?
That's what I'm thinking too. I mean, not you personally, but, you know.
Yeah, see, people don't know. And so she gave me the secret to motivating people. So the secret is to motivating people is stories. Your own stories and then the stories of other